Alright, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to start chapter 1 of the ARFF book, Qualifications for ARFF Personnel. So our job is basically to respond to mass casualty events, do rescue, hazardous materials, and I just wanted to talk about, how ARFF fits into the response to these aviation emergencies, which is what chapter 1 is all about. Our mission is, they call it LIPS, Life Safety, Incident Stabilization, Property Conservation, and then helping with the environment as well. Aircraft fires burn fast, they burn hot, and they require rapid extinguishment. That's why our job is so important to save lives ultimately. Some history. Crash fire rescue started in 1903. During World War II, there were smaller planes, less fuel, less fires, and the planes were obviously going at a slower speed than today. World War II brought inexperienced pilots, but better aircraft from single piston engines to multi turboprops. Now we have jet engines. There was on the job training, and with the war and weather, ARF was obviously a priority at that time. And here's a picture of an old ARF vehicle. In 1968, over 50% of commercial airports had no ARF presence. So they started noticing as planes were crashing that they needed fire rescue at all the airports as much as possible. They started with CO2. All they had was carbon dioxide to put out these fires, and as time went on, they got better and better agents. So in 1960s to 1970s, NFPA 403 was created. It was a standard. So now, like because all the airports around the U.S. and around the world, they all had different types of ways that they were kind of running their show. But NFPA 403 kind of made a standard for airports. And then here's the standard, at least for NFPA. These are the standards that actually coincide with ARF. So you can kind of see some of these. You can look into them if you want to. So one of the big players is the NTSB. So they basically investigate all the crashes. They're a part of the Department of Transportation, so it's not just aircraft. There's hazardous materials, highway accidents you can see, but you can click on aviation accident reports, and you can scroll through all of their research. Um, yeah, so these PDFs are really good if you want to learn more about exactly what happened. You might get the initial news report, but these people really go into detail of was it pilot error or was it the engine that failed? How many people actually were deceased? Because they usually NTSB comes in, it has to be a major accident or if there's involved with death. So the next big company they talk about is NFPA. This company, National Fire Protection Association, they come up with all the standards like I just talked about with NFPA 403, and there's standards for everything in the fire service. And it's a good way to kind of, if you're kind of getting confused on, what you need to be knowing as far as, what you should do in a certain situation, you could probably find a standard to fall upon. So here you can see NFPA 10 is fire extinguishers. Here's a podcast that they came up with. It's pretty interesting. If you have time, you can listen. And then FAA is the major governor of what we do at the airport. So they regulate civil aviation, and you can see here, you can go to the ARF section. It has a lot of our different standards that we fall under. But they conduct research and on fire safety topics. They provide free aircraft accident data. They do annual inspections for our airports. They provide funding. So they used to provide 90%. I think now it's 75% of the money that we have for our new trucks, for our agents, and all of that comes from FAA funding. And then they also investigate aircraft crashes as well, along with the NTSB. So the next part of the chapter was staffing of airports. So for our airport on Maui, we have a captain, two lieutenants, four drivers, and then whatever extra firefighters we can fill in. So we have 13 in our shift total. The airports are supposed to be open 15 minutes prior to operations and stay open till 15 minutes after. So some airports, some of the smaller ones, they go by those guidelines. We're just a 24-hour station because we also have cargo airlines and there's always planes coming in and out. We're Index D airport. But yeah, that's pretty much what this chapter was about. There goes over all the different chapters that is gonna come up. So the next chapter is airport fam. So I'll be going over that quick overview in my next video, and this will be a video series through all the chapters in the book. I believe there's 12 or so. So if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.